We have 5 minutes, unfortunately. I don't think we have time to listen to the Song of Songs at the beginning, especially if you have questions. I mean, they told us to have a meeting here at 4 o'clock. So we do want to hear your questions.
Questions?
I had one sort of
You always do, Nora. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Maura.
I'm a little afraid if you're going to record it, I don't want to get in trouble, which is
Never.
one about where the husband wanted his wife to dance naked before his guests. I
Yes.
don't think she wanted to.
That's the Book of Esther, yeah?
Yeah, well, what flashed into my mind was the Kim Kardashian and her husband Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Kanye West, and like, remember she did this nude photo with a balancing a goblet? I don't know, I heard a rumor that she does these things because he wants her to.
Yeah.
And then he just a day or two ago, according to the little newspapers, he released some photos of her like semi-naked, and he proclaims his love for her, but he's just sharing her with the public in a little bit, not exactly the same as in Esther, but it just flashed through my mind. That's my own.
Well, there are lots of things. There's a new piece called Vashti the Musical that's about to open, I think, as a matter of fact. We might want to look into that one of you also.
I want to say also that the Eternal Road is apparently scheduled to be performed by the Collegiate Chorale sometime this coming season. I don't know exactly when, I don't
It's a
remember.
very beautiful piece indeed. Miriam has an important role in that too. I think Lenny played it originally. And Ruth, the little section about Ruth is the most beautiful of all.
And I just want to say that I really, it was very funny when you two did the Lilith and Adam. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you included
The
that.
comic
It's not
thing.
really an opera.
And then I also really liked all the Women of Valor versions.
Oh.
You did, and also I think Swaddles.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her
all
stuff
those
is
I
fun.
really liked.
Where's she
It was so
based?
positive.
She's in New York. She directed the Dialog at NYU. Did you see it?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know she taught there.
Well, it was as a guest. No, actually, I think she does teach there, musical theater.
What year was that?
I'm not sure. It was within the last 4 or 5 years. I've seen posters and things for it, but there are no dates on it. And the reviews are. I was going to ask her that. You know,
They do-
Woody Allen say 80% of life is showing up.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Do they do Lilith at the City Opera?
Yes.
Yes.
That was Deborah Drettel's
Yeah.
opera. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That had a very lesbian cast to it, literally. I think Patricia Racette and her lover, Beth Clayton,
Right.
acted that out, in real life as well.
I want to thank you for the format. I think it's one of the most exciting concert performances that I've ever attended in my whole life.
Wow!
Because it's so close to us. There's not the musicians and then there's the public. I almost feel like we're incorporated in this.
Well, Angela, thank you so much for coming. This lady came all the way from Paris. And the last time that we had you in a performance, Helene and I performed E.G., musical part of Ella Goldman, and Angela had the line, "So why don't you go back to Russia?"
I loved each piece and I loved the way you worked it together. I thought the work that you did to prepare is phenomenal. I couldn't always keep up with you, it didn't matter.
But you got the handout.
I
You could
agree.
follow it.
I want to thank you.
Yeah, no,
I want to
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Elizabeth.
your piece. As you said, the music, the text, and the singer was so exquisite. It was such a ethereal piece. But I really want to thank you for that. And how you said you're only getting to understand the text now. I love that. I thought that was very, and that you came to it. I was very touched.
He was very nice that she came. I have to tell you that I really think that the music that she didn't play is even more beautiful and expressive of the character of Joe's wife particularly, than what she did
That
play.
was the bottom of the page. That was the duet of the
That was the duet, and then there's a monologue in the second act, and the whole end of the opera is really beautiful too.
First lady was great, the singer, and the duet with Helene.
Oh, Galit is marvelous. Galit was sent to us by Faith Stuyvesant. She said she's the queen of the mezzos in the cantor, and she really is. She's fantastic. And she helped me translate that Hebrew piece into English.
Tell me more about the midrash. I want to know more about the midrash.
Midrash?
Yeah, midrash. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a pastor at the Presbyterian Church where I was for 11 years.
Slow down, Leonard, I can't understand
We
you.
used to talk about midrash, and I'd say, Jimmy, no, it's not midrash. Midrash is what you get in the middle of your body. It's midrash. You know? Midrash means commentary, and usually a story that is told in order to try to explain some details, right? I mean, the whole, Lilith is basically based on Midrash, which is trying to explain the two different conflicting creation stories. Right?
It comes out of the commentaries that people make.
It's the oral history, the
It
oral
always
work.
hit me that Lilith is the incarnation of the goddess who preceded our dear Yahweh, who Yahweh put out of business because she's an equal. And they both come out of the ground. Now, the whole thing of the goddess was that she was the goddess of the harvest. So
Yeah.
it's fascinating that Lilith,
Oh, Lilith is a fascinating character.
just amazing.
There's a wonderful book by Henny Wakeman called
Wankert.
Witch Lilith. It's a pun on the word witch. And it's a whole series of essays and sketches about it. The play that he wrote 20 years ago is based on a sketch that was rejected from that collection, and then Penny sent us. She said, we can't use it, but maybe you can. We sure could. It was written by a woman who's probably gone now. I think she was in the 80s at the time, 20 years ago, in Chicago, named Manya Kruzhanskaya-Latska. And she's the one that came up with the idea that Eve got along better with Adam because she always served him chicken soup, you know, and Lilith, was yelling about ice fight over a hot stove. I mean, that was all her invention. We took that from her.
Lilith is a silent movie that I had no idea what I saw. Did you ever remember this black and white movie, silent movie? It was absolutely extraordinary. I'd never heard of Lilith until I saw that movie in New York, maybe in the 60s.
Yeah. Well, there's a magazine called Lilith that started in the 60s.
Yeah, if you get it like in at synagogues or Jewish places.
Yeah.
People use in college.
Yeah.
It's an important character that the
Yeah.
Christians haven't picked up on. Oh, I mean, I don't know who did that silent movie.
Well, she's a very pagan character, and you know, people used to, the Gerber opera libretto comments that, you know, the priests were protecting themselves against, but the Jews also had amulets to protect against the Lilith coming in, taking away their daughters or killing them. You know, it's a very rich field of folklore.
Yeah, in my story too, actually, there's another female character who's very interesting, sorceress. There's a sorceress who probably comes from pagan. There's, I think, overlap with what you're saying in other aspects of Leningrad.
Well, the Witch of Endor is another important female character in the Bible, in the story of Saul. And she's usually cast as evil, but actually she helped Saul in his fits of madness. And so there's a lot of sympathy to be had for her too, the way there is for Lilith.
I think that music could bring together the three manifestations of the Abrahamic religions, just listening to you. I'm sure that this would be, because the other day someone said, well, how could you do it? I said, through prayer or silence, but I think that music could really bring together, because all the problems, I think, come out of the God the Father, Yahweh, Allah. He's the problem. And these women today show that, you see.
Yeah.
He's so patriarchal. He's just so impossible for women to live with. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And all these traditions, those crazy crusades, we're still suffering from the bloody crusades. You understand?
Your remark has going to be two reactions. First, there's the only place in the world that we visited in Haifa, Israel, is with the cave of Elijah, where the three religions actually worship side by side in the same place.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
And the second thing is, well, I can't think of it, we'll come back.
Whatever must go.
I think what you just said,
Yeah.
what brought me here today was there's a book called When Women Were Drummers.
Okay.
And that was what brought me here.
When Women Were Drummers.
Yes, and that's,
Who wrote that?
I'm a percussionist. Oh my goodness, I can't remember her name right now, but just Google When Women Were Drummers.
Okay.
And you'll get the book. It's just by chance that I found it at Lincoln Center, and I'm a percussionist. And so
Did you sign her book? Do you have your?
I'm on a quest from reading this book, and as a percussionist, I'm looking for more and more of it's tying into what you were saying.
is bringing us together.
Right.
Either in prayer, silently, or you don't have to be even a believer, but just, like holding hands or standing in a circle, just to be together. And then through music together, all the different manifestations. You said constantly this was a Christian or this was, and I'd be interested, I'm sure there are even Muslim authors of music that would be very interesting. I mean, even their take would be interesting. I'm sure it could be a real...
Oh, it's very moving to go to
Thank
Ramadan.
you so very much, all of you. The next, the next session is April 22nd. It's going to be on Holocaust operas with Joe Mandelbaum and David Amram, among others. And then the final one in the series is our Emma Goldman tribute to her the day before the 75th anniversary of her death, May 13th. And then they'll all be here. So please come and please tell your friends. And we're going to put this up on YouTube eventually, so you'll see